pals, I'm here today to do something a little bit different. So in the last year or so, Johnny and I have got way more obsessed with board games than we've ever been before. I think that's happened for a lot of people because of lockdown. So Johnny and I have been together since we were 16 and we're now both, well, Johnny's 31, I'm nearly 31, and so we've played lots of board games together in our time. We used to play much more like classical, well-known board games. Lots of Monopoly, like an insane amount of different editions of Monopoly, lots of Cluedo and all those sorts of games. We've always been people who love playing board games, but did it more as an event when we saw people and didn't necessarily make time to do it ourselves, just the two of us. And then us and some of our friends and also my brother and his fiance started to get much more into like more niche board games that you don't necessarily see in like the Argos catalogue, but you know, you will see on lots of board game websites if you go to find them. And so earlier last year, sort of before lockdown started, and then when it eased a little bit, we were doing fortnightly board game sessions with my brother and his fiance, which we were loving because they were getting loads of new board games and we were getting loads of new board games. And then obviously that hasn't been the case for months, so Johnny and I have played lots of board games, just the two of us, and we've still loved it. And I really want to try and make a space on the channel to talk about board games because I am super obsessed with them, and I probably didn't waste lots of time when I could have been reading, instead researching board games. We are obsessed with the YouTube channel The Dice Tower. They did loads of live shows over Christmas with their like top 100 board games, and it was like a live show with 4 of them, so you found out about like possibly 400 games. And we loved watching all those, and we both have accounts on Board Game Geek, which is sort of like Goodreads, but I guess it lacks it's not so good at like following other people. It is something you can do, but it's not really what it's designed for. It's more a space for you to categorise all your board games and save board games that you want to pick up or you want to play, and it has reviews and videos and photos, and it's amazing. So highly recommend going on Board Game Geek if you want to find more games. And it has a really cool tool, which is something Goodreads does, where when you click on a game that you enjoy, if you go down to the bottom of the page, it tells you other games that they think you'll enjoy if you enjoy the one you first clicked on. So I've become massively obsessed. I have a very obsessive personality, and I could literally just quit my job and spend all my life playing board games now. Not possible, but something I'd love to do. So I thought what I would do is start talking, just doing videos every now and again, talking about, you know, a group of board games I've been enjoying lately. So I have 4 to talk about today, and I'm going to crack on. So the first one I want to mention is Paleo. So we've been playing this one for the past month. This is a newer release. I'm rubbish with like when these board games came out. I think this one only came out last year though. And this is a brilliant game. So Johnny and I really enjoy cooperative games. I'm someone who does enjoy competitive gaming, but I'm not really a massive fan of games where you have to like screw other people over. I just feel too guilty, which is surprising because I'm usually not that kind. But I really love cooperative games. I really enjoy working together, and this one's super fun. So as you can probably tell by the title and the amazing cover, this is based on you being alive in like the Paleolithic era. And you are a group of people, I guess a clan, who are trying to survive through the odds. And as you are surviving, you're progressing and learning new skills. And so there's 7 levels to this game. The first couple of levels, there's only like 1 deck of cards, there's only 1 challenge. And that could be like a pack of wolves are after you, and you're trying to, between the 2 of you or more players, defeat those wolves using lots of different things you can do on your cards. And then as you get further in, there's like 2 storylines, and you're trying to do both in tandem, and then towards the final levels, which get very hard, there's 3 storylines going on, and you're trying to defeat all 3. This is a beautiful game. I'll be showing you images of it now. It's super well designed, so you have characters you play as with different abilities, you have these tokens you collect, these tools, and you're trying, in order to win, you're trying to get 5 pieces of a cave painting together before you get 5 skulls from like 5 of your clan members dying. Something I really enjoy about a game is when the storyline makes sense with the gameplay, so it doesn't feel jarring at any point. You don't think, well, that doesn't really make sense with the storyline. This one really does. It's really beautiful, and we've really been enjoying it. And what I also love about this one is it is a challenge. We've played other cooperative games previously that are level based, and we've managed to play all levels without ever losing, which is, you know, cool, but not so fun. This one we didn't manage many levels first go, which I think is really exciting because you have to sort of figure out how the storyline works and figure out how you can defeat it. So I highly recommend this one. And actually we have been sent this one by Lazy Horse Games. So Lazy Horse Games are a new business venture from a couple who also live in Norwich, which is where we live, so it's very exciting. And they've started a board game subscription service, so you can subscribe. I think the minimum payment is £12.99 a month, and you get 4 credits, and they have lots of different games there that are worth anything from 1 to 4 credits each, and you get to borrow them for the whole month. They send you a box with a free return label on, you post it back, and the next month you get the next one. And that's something we're really excited about, because like with this one, we thought we'd really love it. We were like, how much like replayability would it have? And to be honest, this is one we'd like to add to our collection. I think it will have, but it gives you the ability to, if you haven't got a ton of money to buy all these board games, you know, this one's not cheap, it's probably about £40 on itself, then you can just have this subscription service and just you know, keep playing them. So yeah, we're really excited about that. They very kindly sent me 3-month subscription, but this isn't sponsored or anything. I just wanted to mention because I think it's a really great service. I'll link it down below, and you can go have a look and see if you like the look of it. So that's Paleo, highly recommend. Then a rather smaller game, and one that's going to be much easier for me to hold up, is 7 Wonders Duel. So 7 Wonders came out originally as a game that could be played by more than 2 players, and then they released the newer edition that's specifically for 2 players, which is obviously great during lockdown if you are a 2-player household. We really enjoy this game. This is like a 40-minute game, so we play lots of games that tend to be a bit longer. Paleo is probably 40 minutes to an hour, but you easily get through this in 40 minutes. Really enjoy this one. This is a card-based game where you are playing against one another. This is just really fun. Like I said, I struggle with games where you have to be mean, and sometimes you do have to be mean with this one. You have to be very tactical. As you can see, the cards are stacked in a pyramid design, I guess, and you have to, you take a turn each pulling a card. But you can sometimes see there's a card you know the person you're playing against needs, and so you don't want them to have it, and so sometimes you'll take it just so they can't have it, or you have abilities to throw cards away. Sometimes you'll throw it away just to screw them over. So this is definitely a game that's more tactical, and you do more damage to the other player, but not in a way that's like super mean. So we really enjoy this one, and I'd highly recommend it. Like I said, it's really good for 2 players especially. This next one is insanely heavy. I feel like I need to become a bodybuilder. This is the beautiful Wingspan. Again, this is a newer release, and this is by an all-female design team, which is pretty unusual in most industries, but in particular in the board game industry, I think. So we really love this one. It's very, very pretty, and it is a game where you're playing against one another, but it just feels super chill, and it almost feels like you're just trying to do your own thing. And you don't really try and screw the other player over, you just try and do the best you can with your point system. So the aim of this game, I'll show you some cutaways now, is that you are trying to build, I guess, like an aviary of birds. You're trying to attract birds to your 3 habitats. So you have woodland, Sahara and water, and the box includes like loads of bird cards, and they are real birds. And this original game is I think the North American birds, and they're all brilliantly illustrated with actual information about the birds. Everything makes sense. So some birds have to live in certain areas, some birds give you certain extra abilities which do actually tie in with that bird's actual behavioural patterns, and you sometimes get like cards that are gold cards that say, oh, if you have 7 birds of this type, you get extra points. So you're constantly trying to think of the best way to build as many points as possible to beat the person you're playing against. So yeah, this is very strategic, but it's a very calm game. Again, takes less than an hour. It just feels really chill, and it's obviously very beautiful. So I saved the best to last, and I genuinely feel that no board game will ever be able to top this one for me. Johnny and I both feel this way. Like I said, we've rated all these games, and this is the only game I've played where I feel like they just hit the mark entirely on their first go round of it. I mean, like I said, I love all these games, but this is like a 10 out of 10, and I think 10 out of 10 is incredibly rare. So love everything about this game, and that is of course Evidel. This is again a relatively new game. It already has a few expansions out, and it's currently on Kickstarter with 2 or 3 more expansions. So I'll link the Kickstarter down below. If you don't have the game, they are doing a big box edition which has every single expansion in, which I think is $200, but should be significantly more than that, so it's worth checking out. So This game is just everything I want in a board game. This is very much reminiscent of things like The Animals of Farthing Wood and the Red Wall book series by Brian Jacks. So you are following a little community called Evidel, where you are trying to, I'll show you pictures of the board now, it's the most stunning game ever. So as you can see, there is the Evertree, and there is cards laid out on that, and then there is your area of Evidel, and where you are able to send your players around the board to collect resources, and those resources pay for cards for you to purchase. There are some cards that are in the meadow, and then you also have cards in your hand, and out of those cards you are trying to build a city. You have a city of 15 cards, and you make that city out of critters and constructions. So as you can see, each of these cards you're seeing now are either animals or buildings, and they all tie together, so each animal goes with a building. So for example, one that I think is super cute is the judge is a tortoise, and he goes with the courthouse. So it's just adorable, and each of these cards gives you different points at the end of the game, but again there's also different mechanisms, goal cards, which allow you to you know, get way more points. When we first got this, I bought this for Johnny for his birthday in November, and we played it 20 days straight, and this game is estimated at taking I think 60 to 80 minutes. We've never played it in less than 2 hours, but I think we're both quite obsessive about our city being like absolutely perfect, so we take a long time to make each decision, which is fine for us because we're both the same. So it doesn't, like, neither of us are annoyed when the other person takes like 10 minutes to make their move, because we're probably just obsessing over our city and using that time to our advantage. So yeah, sometimes this takes us 3 hours, sometimes it takes us 3.5. We absolutely love it, and like I said, we had 20 days where we played it every day, sometimes twice. And we both said that we started to have dreams about the game. So we were having dreams that we were going to collect resources, and we realised we'd gone a bit too far and we needed a break. This game is beautiful, it has so much replayability, every card is just so intricately designed, and I love it. And like I said about Lazy Horse, they have all of these games, so they do have Evidel for you to give a go if you'd like to. And let me know if you've played Evidel and how long it usually takes you to play it, because every other game we've played, we're in line with what they say, like the length of time it should take you, and Evidel we're just not. So I think it just could be us, but really love it. So I'd highly recommend all of these games. As you can probably tell, I have a thing for games that are like really beautifully designed. So for me, a massive factor is if the game is attractive, and if the storyline makes sense with the mechanism of the game. And I think all of these align with those desires. So yeah, I really recommend all 4 of these games. Do let me know if you've played any of them and what you thought, and also feel free to give me recommendations, because like I said, I'm a complete board game geek and would love to talk board games in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!